Hey Canucks fans, tonight the Vancouver Canucks would have played in their season finale, and it makes me feel a little sad. I'm Clay Emo, I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter, I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram, I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Saturday, April the 4th. And yeah, it was Vancouver, it was Vegas, I was supposed to be at the game, maybe some of you were supposed to be at that game, and who knows, it could have been a massive playoff ramification type game. Canucks win and they're in. It could have been Canucks were home free already, so this game didn't make a difference. It could have been this game made a difference because wouldn't make a difference because the Canucks were already too far out. Unfortunately, we may never know. I'm optimistic they come back, but my optimism obviously getting less and less strong as more time goes on. And who knows if the Canucks will come back to play for some of the regular season or even straight into the playoffs or at all. And we knew that the Canucks had 78 points in 69 games, on pace for a 93-point season. And we also know that 93, 94 points was kind of like the playoff to get in the cutoff to get into the playoffs. So it makes sense that they're basically right at the cutoff right now to get in the playoffs. If the playoffs started now by points, the Canucks would be out. But by points percentage, they would be in, which seems to be the more fair method, as I've talked about in the past. But regardless, we can only wonder what could have been for now. But the Canucks did finish with 78 points in 69 games, again, on pace for a 93-point season. So then I asked the poll question on Twitter, like I usually do before these vlogs. I said, if I told you that the Canucks would have 78 and 69 on pace for 93 points for a full season, if I told you that at the start of the season, what would your reaction be? And I gave three choices. I said, well, I'll take that. I said, that's about what I expected. Or I thought the Canucks would have way more points than that. So far in the poll, 73% of people, 73% are saying, I'd certainly take that, meaning we probably expected the Canucks to have fewer points than that right now. So 73% saying, yeah, I'll take that. Another 24% were saying, that's exactly about what I expected. So maybe some optimists out there like me. And then only 3% are saying, wow, I thought they'd be way better than that. So only 3% of respondents so far are saying, no, I expected 95, 100 points, which would have been a massive jump from last season. So overall, Canucks fans are happy. They're surprised. And that 73, 74% that said, I'll take that is a good indication of that. And I want to talk quickly in this vlog today about 5 surprising things about the Vancouver Canucks this season. And a lot of them are related because most of them have to do with the Canucks offense. So the first one is the Canucks offense. And the one thing, when you look at their points per game, 7 players have points per game of 0.6 or more. And that's really, really good considering 0.6 is basically a 50-point season. So of course you have Tyler Toffoli, who had 10 points in 10 games when he came over. And then Miller, Pettersson, Hughes, Horvat, Pearson, and Besser. So that's 7 players that were over 0.65 points per game actually. And then you have 3 guys that were just under that mark. You had Alex Edler, you had Adam Gaudette, and you had Jake Virtanen. And you can throw in Josh Leivo, although he didn't play a lot of games either. But all those guys were in the 0.52, 0.53, 0.55, 0.56 points per game. So that's, even at 0.5, that's obviously 41 points in a season. So the Canucks had 11 players on pace, if they're all healthy, Josh Leivo wasn't, for instance, on pace to hit 40 points this season. And that's a lot of offense. That's way more offense than we've had in the last little bit. So I think that was a nice surprising thing about the Canucks this season. And of course, the first power play unit, once Quinn Hughes got on it a few games in the season, that was a big part of that offense as well. So let's talk about Quinn Hughes, another big surprise this season. I think we all had high hopes for him. We all were optimistic, we're positive about him. But we didn't know that he'd be one of the 2 frontrunners for the Calder Trophy. Of course, we've talked about this many times before on this channel. Him or Cale Makar, likely it's going to be one of those 2. I would have said Hughes about 1 or 2 weeks before the season ended, but the Cale Makar came back and had a really, really strong performance in his last game. Who knows if the NHL comes back to play more games where they can separate themselves from each other. We'll never know, or maybe we will know, or who knows if we know. Obviously, I don't know, but I think Quinn Hughes was a revelation. He had a wonderful, wonderful season, and he, with his 53 points in 68 games, the driver of the first power play unit, the driver of a lot of even strength offense, and just a beautiful player to watch. Always exciting, smooth skating, and always made something happen. So I think Quinn Hughes, although we had hoped for big things, I think we were all surprised, if you have to be honest, at just how well he played and how dominant he was this season. So he's another surprise. Speaking of domination, how about JT Miller? We also had high hopes for him, especially given that we gave up a first-round draft pick to Tampa Bay for JT Miller at last year's draft, and he did not disappoint. In fact, leading the Vancouver Canucks in scoring. And I've talked about him a lot. He seems like a leader on the ice and off the ice. He's so good on the boards. He's actually really good in the neutral zone. And on offense, he's smart. He's always making good passes, especially from the goal line down. I've talked about that many times in some of my reaction videos, just how smart he is, his great vision, his great hands. And he's also a really good skater, aggressive, and he's got a good shot, a wonderful release. So all these things make him a really good offensive player. And he also was thrust into some shorthanded work too when the Canucks were down a couple guys near the end of the season, like Beagle or Mott or Sutter or whoever was injured. So JT Miller leading the team in scoring 72 points in 69 games. Also a beast in the face-off circle, 59% face-off wins. So overall, a very surprising player. I would say he'd be the most surprising player and arguably one of our top 3 MVPs with Hughes and Pettersson and Markstrom. So I guess that's 4 guys. So JT Miller, wonderful, wonderful surprise. So we have the offense, we have Hughes, we have Miller. I think Tyler Toffoli was a nice surprise. And he was a nice surprise not because we didn't anticipate that trade, so no one would have predicted that back at the start of the season, but how easily he came in the lineup when he got here. 10 points in 10 games, didn't miss a beat, and was a contributor, scored some big goals, and was a difference maker. Now, I've talked a lot on this channel about can we afford to re-sign him and Jacob Markstrom and some of our RFAs like Stetcher or Rantanen. So there's going to be a lot of decisions, tough decisions for Canucks management to make, but Tyler Toffoli was great. And you just hope that the Canucks are able to re-sign him so we get more than 10 games out of him, especially considering what we gave up to get him, i.e. Tyler Madden and other assets. But Tyler Toffoli was a great surprise when he came over. We thought it'd be good, but point per game pace over 10 games and a fixture on our top line. So much when Besser came back, albeit for 1 game, Besser actually played on the second line and not on the first line. So good for Tyler Toffoli, a wonderful pickup by the Canucks. And one more guy who's surprising, he's kind of under the radar, was Adam Gaudette. He started the season, then he got benched for a little while as the 5th center behind, of course, Pettersson, Horvat, Beagle, and Sutter. But then Gaudette ended up playing 59 games, so he missed 10 games. And in those 59 games, he has 33 points, which is the exact same as Alex Edler, which is 0.56 points per game, which puts you on pace for a 50-point season, which is pretty good, just under a 50-point season, which is really good for Adam Gaudette as a third-line center. I think he had a lot of different line mates, guys like Roussel and Rantanen and Levo and Mott and other guys that cycled through. But Gaudette improved his defensive play. He improved his face-off performance. Still didn't end off the season that great. He's still at 41%. But that was probably in the 20 or 30% near the start of the season. So he's slowly worked his way up. And he's working hard on his two-way game. But his offense is good. He's got a nice quick release, a hard shot, and can go to the net. And he scored 12 of his 33 points. 12 of them are goals. So he knows how to score. So I thought Adam Gaudette was a nice surprise as well. So those for me are kind of the biggest surprises. Canucks offense overall, then you have guys like JT Miller, Quinn Hughes, Tyler Toffoli, and Adam Gaudette as nice surprises. Pettersson basically did what he expected him to do. He didn't have a sophomore slump, which was great. 66 points in those 68 games, so just under a point per game pace. And I thought Bo Horvat played well. He played some really tough matchups in a shutdown role. His plus minus, as much as you want to not believe in that stat, took a bit of a beating, but I still thought he did it well in his first year as captain. Secondary players like Pearson and Rantanen played well. And even Tanev played all 69 games of the season, getting hurt in that 69th and final game for the Canucks. And I thought that was a nice surprise as well, Tanner's durability. Another surprise I thought was how well Jacob Markstrom played. We would hope that last year wasn't a fluke, and he definitely showed that last year wasn't a fluke. In fact, you could argue he played even better this year than he did last year, and that was a slight surprise to me. So many, many surprises, most of all pointing to the Canucks fighting for a playoff spot when the season was paused, and if the season comes back, they'll be right in the thick of that playoff race. So Canucks fans, those were some of my surprises. I would love to know what kind of surprises, what kind of things, who surprised you this season? Do you agree with a lot of the ones I had, or do you have other things? Do you want to mention guys that I didn't mention, or even some off-ice stuff as well? I'd love to know what you think. And tonight, instead of the like I said, the season finale that we'd be watching, Sportsnet are playing 2 games from other April 4s. It was Vancouver in Detroit, or at Detroit. Bo Horvat's first career hat trick. They're playing that game today, and then after that they're playing another April 4th game, which was the Sedin's final home game of their careers, that memorable game against Arizona Daniel with the overtime winner, and me and my son Sean fist bumping the Sedins and the team in the tunnel before the game. I've told you that story many, many times. So if you're home and you want to check out some Canucks action, you can check out Sportsnet starting at 4 o'clock, just a few minutes from now. So there we go, Canucks fans. Tell me your biggest surprises of the season. Tell me what videos you want me to react to. Tell me what goals and games you want me to react to. Tell me who you want me to have as my next Zoom, Zoom recording interview partner, so to speak, Zoom guest. That's what I was trying to say. Would love to hear your feedback, and I hope that you guys are doing well. So leave a comment below. I would love to read, react, and reply. Subscribe if you like to. Like this video if you like to. Be safe, be healthy, take care of yourselves and of each other. Have a great day. God bless. Go Canucks, go.